where fortune meets fun. With over 1,800 slot machines, high stakes bingo, 24/7 poker, and exciting high limit slots, there's something for everyone to enjoy. From luxurious accommodations and exquisite dining at La Brisa to live entertainment and handcrafted cocktails at Temp Lounge, we thank you for choosing us as the premier casino, resort, brunch, and date night spot in Miami. Reimagined, redesigned. Rediscover Mikasuki Casino and Resort online at mikasuki.com.
Miami Marlins fans, we celebrate every victory together. But when life throws you a curveball, whether you're injured at work, hurt in an accident, or facing a disability, you need a team that knows how to win. At Werner Hoffman, Greg and Garcia, we fight for you in personal injury, workers' compensation, and disability cases. With decades of experience, we make sure you get the benefits and compensation you deserve. Let us step up to the plate for you. Werner Hoffman, Greg and Garcia, where Miami's injured find their strength. Call us now or visit wernerhoffman.com. Let's win this together.
Thanks for listening to Miami Marlins Baseball. Marlins Baseball is brought to you by ADT, the official smart security partner of the Miami Marlins, and Norwegian Cruise Line. Experience more at sea. With the 10th Inning Show, here's the voice of the Marlins, Jack McMullen.
Heck of a Saturday at Lone Depot Park. A 3-1 Marlins win in a game that took 2 hours and 11 minutes. This was a pitcher's duel, and we had the better guy, Cal Quantrill, who went 6 scoreless innings. Jack McMullen, Jeff Nelson guiding it here through the 10th Inning Show. Cal was the story today. We'll get to some offensive pieces, but Quantrill just put up his best start in a Marlins uniform. The full line on him. Quantrill, 6 innings of 2-hit shutout ball. Didn't walk anyone, 3 punch-outs. He did it in 69 pitches. This guy was clinical today.
Yeah. His rhythm was outstanding.
Are you starting to feel like
he was on top of the rubber. He was efficient. He was quick. He never really allowed the hitters for the Royals to get into that rhythm. Like we talked about during the game, it's really tough to slow a pitcher down when you're getting one timeout. Yep. And when you're firing strikes, a lot of good fastballs, a lot of 2-seamers, 4-seamers, used the cutter, stayed away from the slider and the curveball a little bit, used a splitter when he needed it. He was efficient in his last start in Cincinnati and then blew up in the 6th inning. He gave up the 2 runs in 5 innings and really low pitch count. Well, he did the same thing here. The Reds have, I think, a little bit better lineup than the Royals. Really took advantage of a weak Royals team, but he did outstanding. His best start of the year, obviously, but I really loved the rhythm. I loved how he just got on the mound and just felt it, and it was really nice to see.
So on average in a Major League Baseball game right now, teams are punching out about 6.5, 7 times per game. So we're looking at about 13 strikeouts per game in an average Major League Baseball game. We had 8 combined strikeouts today. Cal punched out 3. The Marlins as a staff K'd 5. Michael Wacha K'd 1. Schreiber K'd 1. Urseg K'd 1. So that's 5 for the Marlins pitching, 3 for the Royals pitching. This kind of felt like that throwback game and a great pace to it. This was a joy.
Yeah, a lot of early count swings. You know, when you have both sides, both starters are filling up the strike zone, you're going to get a lot of early count swings. They wanted to stay away from the breaking ball, especially with Wacha, whose breaking stuff is a lot better than his fastball, especially average against. So they wanted to stay out of those counts. And with the Royals, when you have a struggling offense, you can really play to that advantage, knowing that, hey, they're in swing mode right on the on-deck circle. And the Marlins did a tremendous job with that. And offensively, you know, I was going to go back just to the 8th inning real quick and ask you, and I wonder if this changed the Marlins' thought process. That violation assessment that got on Edwards.
Yeah, it was an automatic strike call.
Automatic strike call. Now, I'm wondering if that's an 0-0 count, does he sacrifice? So since it's 0-1, maybe, okay, hey, we got to take away the sacrifice now. We're going to have to go swing mode.
I love that thought, and I align with you because I think if it's an 0-0 count, I mean, you saw the Kansas City third baseman, Michael Garcia, he was playing in.
Right.
Like he wasn't just
and it
on
was
the
a
edge.
sacrifice situation.
100%.
And we've seen it almost all the time with Edwards.
100%. And X is a great bunter. I thought he was bunting, no questions asked, and all of a sudden you're behind at the count, 0-1. What do you do?
Right.
Well, you let this guy swing because he's been so good, and he had 2 extra base hits today. So I'm totally with you. I think although it seemed like it really got the Marlins, it was a blessing in disguise because it opened up the opportunity for X to double and then Otto, and then it was fun to see things waterfall off of a bad call against the Marlins to work in the Marlins' favor. X was one of the standouts. Otto Lopez, I mentioned, over his last 23 games, this guy has 27 RBIs. Is he one of the more underrated shortstops in baseball at this point?
Well, I've always thought he's been one of the most underrated players in baseball. He really didn't know a whole lot about him when he came over here to Miami. He was a second baseman. You look at the end of the year last year, one of the best fielders in the game, and all of a sudden you move him to shortstop. He's been an outstanding shortstop.
Yep.
Offensively, he gets in those moments that he just gets in that hot streak. He has, 10, 11 home runs. He can run. He's another one of those guys that probably shouldn't be hitting in the middle of the lineup, more of a 7, 8, 9. I wouldn't even put him in the 9 hole, but he can really play.
Yeah.
Defensively, one of the best, I think, that I've seen in the league, either at second or short. And offensively, he's done really well.
Yeah, 100%. Nelly,
All
appreciate
right,
you.
tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow.
For the sweep.
Let's hear from Mr. Otto Lopez, who's standing by with Steven Strom postgame.
Are you starting to feel like there's a little magic to this team right now?
I mean, it's always been magic in this team already. So I just feel like we wake up something inside us like that. It just make us play more fun. Just go out there and enjoy it more. And that's what we've been doing. Doing nothing different.
How did you see that 8th inning unfold?
Oh, we very confident. Very confident that the players been taking good at bats. And we get out there, just do our job.
You were down 0-2 in that count. What were you trying to at least try to get out there?
Oh, just put the ball in play. That's what I've been trying to do, with Manatera. Nothing else different. Just get out there, get a good pitch, and put it in play.
Clayton McCullough has talked to us about how the move from second base to shortstop has given you confidence. How has that move given you confidence, even for your offensive play?
All the work that I've been putting in, it's been very good. Oh God! So all the confidence I've been putting in and the work, and I feel very comfortable now, playing that position. So not
great discipline by not cursing or anything. Otto Lopez, for our audio audience, got a little shower from Stowers. Thank you for the time, Otto.
Thank you.
All right, Jack.
Thank you very much, Steven, and thank you to Otto Lopez. It's funny. I was watching it in real time. So Kyle Stowers took a little Gatorade cup, filled it with water, and then walked over to Otto, just poured a little bit on the back of his neck, and then went to Xavier Edwards, who was doing the TV post-game interview, and he went and poured a little bit on X's back, and then he goes over to Otto Lopez and dumps the rest of the Gatorade cup on him. So Otto got double trouble on that one from Kyle Stowers, who's really emerged as a clubhouse leader, and he will celebrate everyone's win, even if he's not hitting a walk-off homer. Today was the Otto Show, 3 driven in, 2 extra base hits for Xavier Edwards. When we come back, a run through the highlights here. 10th Inning Show continues next on the Marlins Radio Network.
Miami Marlins
Fourth
fans.
lowest in baseball with runners in scoring position.
2-1 pitch, a line shot into right center. That is in for a base hit. X is going to come in to score and tie the game. Augustine chugging for second. Benson slid to his backhand to grab that ball in right center, but the throw into second base is late. An RBI double for Augustine Ramirez. He expands his National League rookie lead in runs driven in, and we're tied at 1 in the top of the 5th, and was at the top of the National League for the majority of the season. 2-1 pitch. That one ripped into right field. That is in for a base hit. Benson going to come up firing. They're sending Augustine. Throw coming home. One hop up the first base line. Augustine slides, and he managed to just squeak a foot in. Stevenson swiped the tag. Augustine slid feet first, and I think he swept that right foot around, and he tapped the plate.
65 strikes for Singer. Here's the 1-2 to Hill. Ground ball, third base side, runner going. Throw to the plate, high and over the head of Stevenson. And Wagaman scores. Now Hill will slide into second. That ball is thrown into the outfield. Hill will try to go to third. Oh my goodness. The Reds are throwing it all over the ballpark. Hill winds up at third base on a ground ball hit off the bat about 75 feet. Everybody in on the grass. Here's the pitch. Sanoa, high pop-up, right field. It's shallow. Benson's got a good arm. Tagging is Hill. He's going to try it anyway. Here's the throw from Benson. A one bounce to the slide. He's in there. Derek Hill diving in despite a good throw from Benson. There's that speed from Hill, and it's 4-1 Miami. Count of 1-1 to Ramirez. This one he rips. Deep left field. And forget about it. Gone, goodbye. Into the upper level. And Augustin Ramirez with number 14. And he slowly trots around. That was well hit by Augustin Ramirez. It is now 5-1. That ball went 420 feet, and that might be...
Listening to the 10th Inning Show on the Marlins Radio Network.
Well, great win for the Fish. 3-1 the final score today over the Kansas City Royals. They lock up the weekend series win, and they will go for a sweep tomorrow in a battle of two really strong pitchers, Jansen Junk for the Fish and Chris Bubich, the All-Star for Kansas City. But let's run through the highlights here while we have you. It was a 1-2-3 inning for Cal Quantrill in the top of the first inning. And then in the bottom of the first, Xavier Edwards on the first pitch from Michael Wacha tripled down the right field line into the corner. He was standing at third base. Jesus Sanchez popped up to the catcher Perez in foul ground. But then Otto Lopez, it wasn't pretty, but he got scoring started. 2-2. Now a bouncing ball over to third. That's plucked on a bare hand by Garcia. X will score. He fires to first base to get Lopez, but it was a productive swinging bunt. An RBI ground out for Otto Lopez, and the Fish on the board after the Edwards triple. 1-0 Marlins, bottom of the first. So, pitcher's duel, you know the timing. It was a 2-hour, 11-minute game, and it was a 3-1 win for the Fish. So it wasn't pretty offensively, but Otto got the job done early. More from Otto a little bit later on. But Cal Quantrill, the star of the show for the Marlins, he went 6 scoreless innings and some defensive help, this time from Dane Myers to end the second. One for me in the DH. That one hit well out to right center field, pretty deep. Sanchez and Myers are back. Dane on the move. Dane reaches up, and he makes a tremendous play. Dane Myers on a full sprint takes an RBI double away from Freddie Fermin. With both his feet on the warning track, Dane Myers extends and makes the snag in stride. Crisis averted. We go to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Fish. He stranded a 2-out single from Nick Lofton, and after that, Cal was on cruise control. Again, final line on him, 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and 3 punch-outs in 69 pitches. It was Quantrill's first quality start in a Marlins uniform. Let's fast forward to the top of the 7th with Tyler Phillips in the game. He got a quick pop-out from Bobby Witt Jr., but then he walked Vinny Pasquantino. After that, Phillips rolled his ground ball double play. First pitch. That one a ground ball over to second. X has got it. Flips to Otto at second for one. On to first in time for the double play. Maikel Garcia shot a ball off the right side of the mound, but X was there. He recalibrated on a funky hop and started a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. 1-out walk extinguished. Phillips faces the minimum, and it's time to stretch. Go to the bottom of the 7th. 1-0 Fish on the Marlins Radio Network. And now we jump to the 8th, and the only run production from the Royals, but it was big time, from a possible future Hall of Famer in Salvador Perez. He has not really had the walk bug this year. He's been filling up the strike zone. 2-0 pitch. That one hammered. Out to center field. Myers is back at the track, at the wall, and it's gone. Salvador Perez to straightaway center field. Got a fastball over the heart of the plate, and he did not miss it. His 14th homer on the year. Shot out of a cannon. 107 off the bat. And we're knotted at 1 in the top of the 8th. So that is how we got even. But again, we were not done with Otto Lopez. This guy was amazing. Leadoff walk issued by Lucas Erceg to Graham Pauley in the bottom of the 8th inning. Then Xavier Edwards, after an automatic strike call against him when it looked like he was granted time by the home plate umpire, James Jean. Weirdly, not the case. X decided, you know what? I'll take matters into my own hands, and he went line hunting again down the right field line. That double put runners at second and third with nobody out. They intentionally walked Jesus Sanchez to get to Otto Lopez, and this guy was not messing around today.
And put it in play hard.
0-2, that one hammered out to left and deep. Lofton back, he's looking up, and it slams off the wall. 1 run in, here comes a second. They hold Sanchez at third, and it's a 2-run double for Otto. Lopez obliterates a baseball. 108 off the bat, and the 2-run two-bagger makes it 3-1 Fish in the bottom of the 8th. That's all they needed. Anthony Bender out there for a clean 9th. 1-2-3. That was your ball game. 1-1. That a little dribbler over to third. Tough play for Paulie. He charges. He throws on the run in time to get Garcia. And the Marlins lock down a series win. All-Star break had no effect. Final score for the Fish today, 3-1 over the Kansas City Royals. And that is how this ball game sounded. When we come back, we'll hear from the skipper, Clayton McCullough. 10th inning show continues next on the Marlins Radio Network.
Hey, it's the Good Greek Spirit.
1-1. That one hit well. Out to right center field and deep. You got the center fielder Mullins turning around. He's looking up, and it's gone. Welcome back, Kyle. Solo homer in the place that was his first home. Huge smile on Stowers' face as he rounds third. Homer number 17 on the year. And that opens scoring in the top of the second. 1-0 Fish.
Here's the 1-2 pitch now. Hit to right field. That's a liner, and it drops for a base hit. Throw from Laureano to the plate, and sliding in is Sanchez. He scores. RBI for Ramirez, number 41.
Thankfully just got in the nick of time, but that is hard. Opposite field power from Augustine.
Kyle Stowers now with a drive to right field and deep. Going back is Laureano. He looks up, and it is out of here. Home run, Stowers. He hit one in the second. He hits number 18 here in the third. It's a 2-run shot, and it's 4-0 Miami. Baltimore, breaking ball. That is ripped to left field and deep. Going back is Cowser. He limps, and he cannot get it. It's out of here. Otto Lopez, his 11th home run of the year. Back-to-back homers. Third in the game already for Miami. How about 5-0?
2-2 from Young. Stowers hits one high and deep right again. Did he do it again? Oh, yeah, he did. The King of Baltimore, Kyle Stowers. Remember him? A 3-homer day. That's sending the All-Star to Atlanta in style. 2-run shot. 7-0 Fish in the top of the 5th.
And we're on a 3-game losing skid. 3-2 pitch. Runners go with the 3-2 and 2 outs. Base hit right field. Stowers rounding 30.
10th inning show rolls on. 3-1 win for the Fightin' Fish over the Kansas City Royals, and the Marlins secure the series win. They will go for the sweep tomorrow. Let's hear from the skipper now. Here's Marlins manager Clayton McCullough after this one.
Stuff has happened since Cal was on the mound, but for Cal to go out and give you 6 scoreless innings the way that he did today, keeping those guys off balance and getting a little bit of a longer leash here, what stood out to you about his performance today?
Again, like the efficiency at which he was able to do it. He collected a lot of early outs, and I mean, really for the most part, he kept them off the barrel. I think first couple innings made some really nice defensive plays behind Cal, and kind of got the wind at his sails, and never really was threatened, or there wasn't a whole lot. There wasn't really any traffic, and he kept filling it up, and it was a really great outing. In 6 innings there, the efficiency, how he used his cutter, and even like his split to righties was good today. So big time outing from Cal.
That 8th inning, start with X's at bat. First, there's that pitch clock controversy, and would love to know what the explanation was there, but then also for X to then be able to lock in and drive a double, get that inning going.
So X had used his timeout going into the at-bat, and he felt like Ursig was ready to go, and he hadn't looked up yet. He started stepping out of the box. James, when he stepped out of the box, he didn't want Ursig to then deliver that he was ready, and potentially something to happen there. That he had X engaged into looking up and engaged, and once X had done that, already using his timeout, that it was a violation. So that was the explanation there, and to after that, for X to stay composed. Once it was all done, take a couple pitches, get into the count, and then smoke one to right for that double. Great for X, in a very hot moment in the game to regroup and do that was a really great sign.
Otto's been an RBI machine for you guys. I think that's 26 ribbies in his last 23 games, as you guys obviously play great baseball. I mean, how has he transformed into this productive of a hitter with runners in scoring position?
I think with Otto, for me, it starts a lot with his improved plate discipline. You like the ability to check off on some of those sliders, check off on some of the chase pitches. He got a ball elevated there, put a great swing on it. I think Otto's been in a really good place now. I mean, for a while, and it goes back to he's always had high contact ability. He's showing some more ability to impact. It's the key for the run of success he's been on is his ability to lay off enough pitchers' pitches, chase pitches to keep himself in good counts. And when he gets some elevated, he's ready to go.
We've talked so much about this season with Cal, like if you get over the hump, why was today he able to get through the sixth? What made today different that inning for him?
I think it was very much the same as Cal has done. I mean, he's been incredibly efficient today, maybe more so than has been to go and go through 19 hitters on 70-something pitches in 6 innings. That's really tough to do, to be that efficient. And he got the big pickoff with the runner on. That was a big out for him. And I think that's what Cal has done is he's kept his walks down. He's been very efficient, and big from today he got through the bottom there, which is at times maybe bit him some, turning it over. Was able to do that today, and to go 6 innings on less than 80 pitches is a really tough feat, and the efficiency and the strike throwing with multiple offerings was outstanding.
Do you think about letting him go to 7 in that situation? Or?
I think once he got us through 6 there, and coming off the break, and we had still a stable of guys down there in the bullpen, felt like that was Cal had done his work for the day, and to pass it off to the other guys.
I asked him yesterday just the art of, I guess, being efficient with his pitches. Even the games that he's only gone 5, very low pitch count. What is it that he does pitching wise that makes him that good?
I think I've seen him just a more aggressive approach from Cal. I mean, look, he got a late start coming into spring training. And you go through the first month. I mean, for me, it kind of goes back to Seattle. We were out there, and it was a switch flip in his mind. He just said, I'm just going to be on the attack more. And whatever offering he does, whether his cutter's been a very good pitch for him, his curveball at times, the splitter. So I think it's been just a mentality of like, don't be too edgy, aggressive through the zone. And I mean, really, that's what he's done for a lot of starts now. I mean, you go through, it's been efficient, and it's been a lot of strike throwing. He's cut down on the walks, and we've seen the performance be solid.
Does this stuff though, I guess, play so well that it makes hitters like swing early in counts, or what is it?
I think that the cutter's a really good pitch. I think it's his ability has been so good versus left this year, and a lot to do with his ability to throw the cutter in. I mean, even seen him elevate the cutter some, which I think for a lot of hitters that's a unique pitch to see that ball more at the top of the strike zone. And move the way it does. And he's got the splitter that can play down below it. He used his slider well today. So, I mean, he has weapons. And when you're filling up the zone that early and often, you get guys swinging. And then if you're able to just get them off the barrel, that's what, pitching is.
Go back to X for just 1 second. 4 straight games here with extra base hits for him. And I think before that, it was only 10 the entire season. So have you noticed any changes in either his approach or anything, mentality that's allowed him to drive the ball the way that he has as of late?
Yeah, like looking at X, you can tell he's extremely confident right now because he's getting off some really aggressive swings, and he's pulled the ball with more authority, especially towards the end of that road trip into this homestand, and he's always able to slash and hit the ball to all fields. I think some of the slug recently, he had one to left center last night, but again, to be able to teams try to crowd him, try to throw cutters in on him, to be able to get the barrel to it, and first pitch of the game today, ready to go. And his swing looks crisp right now. It looks very tight. And, this is like the version of X that we've all seen, and makes him a really, tough out at the plate and a table setter for us.
Do you feel like you got like a different hero? I mean, because of course we can say Otto, but X with the double, but Paulie with the walk to lead off the inning. I mean, obviously we see Star Wars doing everything that it's doing, but in such a good run, you need different guys to come up and do stuff like that.
When good offense is that's what it requires. I mean, it's not going to be the same guy every single night. What Kyle has done recently, it's great to be able to change the scoreboard the way he has, but to have a number of players just putting at bats together, coming up with hits, is how you find ways today. When Walker's a tough pitcher, and it was an early run on a ground out, great jump by X on the contact play, and then to put some really good at bats together there in the 8th to get some traffic before the big hit. So it takes all 9 in the lineup on a given day to be able to just try to find ways, whatever it takes to score runs that day. And we've been getting a lot of contributions from a number of guys.
All right, that was the skipper, Clayton McCullough. Look, Steven appeared on the StreamYard, and he's also here on radio. He hasn't said anything just yet, but I did hear the mic move a little bit.
Yes, I am here.
There we are.
Hello, and I'm muted now, so that's good. So we can all be good on StreamYard in the radio.
That's big.
Where do you want to go? You want to break? What do you want to do here?
No, we're going to go to Cal Quantrill, who's the star of the show today. Cal went 6 scoreless innings, 2 hits, 3 punch-outs, and no walks. Got through 6 in his first quality start as a Marlin in 69 pitches, and Cal met with the media postgame.
By far, numbers-wise, your best start of the season, 6 innings, 2 runs, and you even got a little bit more of the rope there. What's your view of how you performed today on the hill?
Yeah, I think we were efficient. We attacked hitters. I think we stayed ahead. We got the early lead. I thought that me and Hicksy were on the same page today. Like when you're not shaking a rookie catcher, it's like really, really impressive what he's doing back there. So, I was really happy with it, and it's nice to finally get through 6. It feels like it's been a talking point, but it's been a fight this year. So, I feel like a couple times I probably could have, but this time we did, and that's good.
So that being said, what were the conversations like with your coaches, with your manager, as you were cruising that way and knew, like, all right, I can certainly get there in terms of pitch count, and effectiveness?
Yeah, that's the key, right? You have to be effective. It's certainly not my first time going 6, and hopefully it's something to build on moving forward. But I think most importantly is that we won the game, and I thought we did a lot of things well. We played great D today, and these late inning runs are they're backbreakers for other teams, right? So I think we took quality at bats the whole day and stayed on them, and had good work out of the pen. And it's a complete game.
A lot of contact and a lot of ground balls today. When you're on, is that sort of the indicator for you that you're getting, to induce guys into ground balls?
Yeah, I think for most guys, that's a good sign. You'd like to have a little more swing and miss if you can get it, but today was one of those days where they weren't going to let very many strikes go without swinging, and that's fine. You can pitch to that. So, I was really happy with the game plan. I thought we executed at a high rate, and ground ball outs are generally pretty safe outs, so we'll take it.
The 6th inning today in particular, was it just being able to execute better? What was it that led to you being able to complete it?
I think a lot of times you like to put all the eggs on the 6th inning. A lot of times it's what you did before, right? How you got guys out the first time through the order, and then what you have left to show them the second time through. So today I thought that we did a really good job of having 2 or 3 different methods of getting guys out and not having to kind of show them whatever it was that we wanted to do the first time, which made it a little easier the second time. But yeah, it's good. It's good.
You're facing plenty of times when you were in the AL Central. How much do you think you were able to carry into you learned from the past into this start as well?
Yeah, I think I've had a fair amount of success against them in the past, but it is a different team. It's a talented young team, especially the second half of that lineup. I didn't know very well, but I've kind of been watching, or I've pitched against Salvi and Witt enough to know that they can be dangerous. So, anytime I face some of these old AL Central opponents, it's when I'm doing my review, it's quite a few more at bats against them than I do against some of the other teams. But I think they're a solid squad, and anytime we can get a win against a solid team, that's a good thing.
Predominantly right-handed hitting lineup. I think you've had more trouble against them this season. Just what were you able to execute that way to get them out today?
I think the slider was a lot better today. We threw the splitter a little bit more frequently to righties, even though it wasn't as good as it can be today. We mixed up the fastballs and moved the ball around, and for a long time in my career, I was better against righties than lefties. I think maybe we've probably we've over talked about the reverse split thing. Like, it's true, but it's not like this is the first time I think that's true. So I'm not opposed to a team facing 7-8 righties. I think in a lot of ways that's more to my game.
So that was Cal Quantrill, and I think the split thing is very interesting because this guy's like, it's a tale of two pitchers for Cal. He's got a lot of tools in his toolbox that he can go to. You see cutter and fastball / sinker to both sides, right? Typically, you see the sinker as a righty diving away from lefties. He'll go to a sinker a little bit, but he's cutter forcing to both. He was splitter to both at the beginning of the year, but now his plan of attack against lefties is really four-seam sinker split.
Sure.
And then his plan of attack against righties right now is cutter, slider, curveball. He only threw one curveball today, but this guy, like, it's fun to watch him maneuver a lineup. And then it's like, okay, I'm dealing with a lefty. I'm dealing with a righty. I'm dealing with a guy with this deficiency. I'm dealing with a guy with that deficiency. And it's really fun to watch a vet go about his business on the mound. And Cal played the chess match. We saw Seth Lugo. We saw Lugo play the chess match yesterday. We saw Waka play the chess match on their side. We're going to see Bubic do the same thing tomorrow. But you know what? We're going to see Junk do it as well. This is a fun weekend in terms of starting pitching, and we were treated today. So really excited to get Steven's thoughts on that. Give me your Cal thoughts. Then we'll break. Then we'll get the rest.
Yeah, awesome for Cal Quantrill. I looked this up while I was listening to his media availability, Jack. The last time that he threw 6 innings was pretty close to this date, July 24th, 2024. He threw 6 innings against Boston. The last time he threw 6 shutout was June 11th of 2024. Again, that was the last time he threw 6 shutouts. So, for Cal Quantrill, a couple of thoughts. First, I mean, this is kind of what the Marlins, this is what they wanted from Cal. Maybe not 6 shutout, but they wanted a guy that was going to be able to go deep into the game, get you 5-6 innings. But it was awesome for him to get over that hump today, particularly because he came off. It's not easy to go into the break on the stinker that he had in Cincinnati. He didn't cover home a couple of times. I mean, there was a couple of brain farts that even Cal, a veteran, would say he shouldn't have done. But to come back here, I thought against a Royals team, this is a good landing spot. The Royals have not been great offensively. That's not to take anything away from Cal, but it feels like if you could take Bobby Witt Jr. out of the game, you're going to have some success. And credit to Cal, you said it, the splitter used it 17 or threw it 12 times, so 17%.
Yeah.
The cutter was the pitch to go for him today, 22 times throwing that cut, 13 the four-seamer. We always hear Nelly establish the fastball, let everything else, do its thing.
Cutter can work as that. Cutter falls
correct.
into the fastball family when you're talking Cal Quantrill.
But this was by far Cal's best start of his Marlins tenure, and hopefully, it's more to come. Again, 6 shutouts, hard to, bet on that every single time, but
for sure,
this was awesome today, and awesome that the Marlins were able to, come through late for, for him. And I know he didn't get the win, but awesome to come through. When you get a good pitching performance like that, Jack, you want to make him pay. You get 6 shutout from your start, you got to win those games.
For sure. 100%, and they did. 3-1 today. We're going to get Steven's offensive takes, and we're going to say see you next. 10th inning show concludes on the Marlins Radio Network. He comes set again. He's got Sanchez at first, Edwards at third. Nobody gone. The 2-2 to Otto Lopez is on the way. And that one, a ground ball, could be 2. Ortiz charging. He scoops to second for 1. On to first, not in time. And the first run, it comes in. Edwards scores from third base. It is a 6-4 fielder's choice, but another RBI for the RBI machine right now. Otto Lopez, it's 1-0 Fish in the first. That one, a little swinging bunt in front of the mound. The pitcher, Priester, picks it up. He lofts it. He airmails the first baseman, Bowers. Bro goes to third base. His ex was pushing, and that ball gets away from the third baseman, Durbin. So Edwards comes in to score. Sanchez pushes to second, and the Brewers are throwing the ball around the ballpark.
We would call that a snowball fight. That's what it looked like, especially on that sinker. He also throws that cutter, so that cutter's going to look the same.
This pitch to Connor Norby. He drills out to right center and deep. Frelick back, track, wall. It is gone. Early pyrotechnics. Connor Norby. He's getting right. 5th homer of the year. A solo shot to right center. And it's a 2-run game. 5-3 Milwaukee in the bottom of the 4th.
Decision that he was going to go.
This pitch to Otto Lopez. That's deep enough. That one drilled out to left and deep. It is gone. Tied at 5. Otto pounces.
I would love that, actually.
Imagine.
0-2. That one a little swinging bunt, third base side. That's going to be a fair ball. Bender picks it up. He fires to first. It's in time. Anthony Bender saves a run. Pitchers are athletes.
Find Skechers slippers at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
I love that sound of the Skechers VO guy. It was a gritty sound of the Skechers VO guy. Jack McMullen, Steven Strom, capping off the 10th inning show after a 3-1 win for the Fish over the Kansas City Royals. They have secured the weekend series victory, and they go for a sweep tomorrow. Where are your offensive takes? Is it Otto and his 3 RBIs? Is it X and his 2 extra base hits? Where are we going?
Yeah, I think both of those, Jack. I think we've praised Kyle Stowers for good measure, right? But I think one of the most underrated moves that the coaching staff in the Marlins brass has made was the switch from shortstop to second base for Xavier Edwards and second base to shortstop for Otto Lopez. That decision, I'm not going to say it's the reason why the Marlins have gone on this streak, but Kyle Stowers can only do so much as one player. It has been Kyle Stowers' growth and evolution, but it's also been those two, because those two are at the top of the lineup every single night. Like Kyle Stowers can bat 6th or 7th sometimes, like against a lefty. I don't know where he's going to bat tomorrow.
Right.
But for Otto Lopez and Xavier Edwards, man, they have changed the complexity of this team. Otto Lopez has found a home at shortstop. He made an incredible play early in this game. His offensive numbers are through the roof since the switch. And then Xavier Edwards, there were some questions about what was going on with X in the beginning of the year. He's not at 300. That's the standard we have of him. But he has done, hits in 7 of his last 8 games. And like Jeremy Taché said in the post game, he's hitting for power now. I mean, he's wall hunting, and I think today, you look at what he was able to do offensively. He starts the game off with a triple. We end up scoring a run in that first inning just to get on the board. And then late in this game, overcoming some adversity, dare I say, with the automatic strike call on him, and then the ability to just ignore the noise and come through with a double.
So I want to hang on that for a minute, because you hear a lot of players talk about this, and they say it in ways that seem a bit more frilly than it actually is. And I want to highlight this because I feel like this is what X is doing right now. And everybody experienced this. If you played Little League baseball or softball, you experienced this. A lot of guys will talk about hitting like it's rocket science. And there are some things at this level that are akin to rocket science. It's the hardest thing to do in sports is hit major league pitching. And I stand by that 8 days a week. But the thing that I want to highlight with X, and I've heard Liam Hicks talk about it, I've heard Nick Fortes talk about it this year, and I've heard plenty of other big leaguers talk about it. When you have this innate feel to put bat on ball, Clayton calls it move the ball forward. When you have a low strikeout rate, you're leaving some meat on the bone when it comes to hitting the ball hard. Because you know that you can get the barrel to the baseball. Think about when you're going right in Little League baseball or softball. It's like, okay, I know I'm hitting, so I'm not that worried about it. I can get a bigger swing off.
Sure.
And I think that's what X is doing right now. When he was a shortstop, when he was a shortstop, the K rate was 17%. As a second baseman, the K rate for X right now is closer to 10%.
Wow.
So this guy has dropped the K rate by 7% with the move from short to second base. So if you're striking out less, you have more confidence in yourself to put bat on ball. And what happens when you have more confidence in that? You can get a better swing off. You can swing with a little bit more vigor.
That's a great point.
And that will result in some corners and gaps for you. And it resulted in a homer at Camden Yards for X. And there's a reason his homer total sits at 1 instead of 0 going into the All-Star break. So that is just something that is typically like, it's very well documented among hitters, but it seems so much more abstract than it actually is. And I think that X is in that kind of rhythm where he can get a better swing off because he has such supreme confidence that he can put the ball in play.
Yeah, you hit it on the head. And then for Otto Lopez, man, I mean, just continues. You intentionally walk Jesus Sanchez. I know all of us that have been in it every single day that have watched the Marlins, you're shaking your head and saying, really? Really? That's one of our best contact guys, and he made him pay.
I'm taking Stowers out of this conversation because Kyle's Nelly doubled down on the superstar thing today, and I'm ready to go there with him. Like Kyle Stowers, this guy's unbelievable. So I'm taking Stowers out of this. Outside of Stowers, Otto Lopez might be the best situational baseball player the Marlins have.
Yeah.
Like if there's a runner in scoring position in less than 2 outs, chances are he's coming in.
100%.
And this guy has 27 RBIs over his last 23 games.
Dude, what the scariest parts of this team right now to me is like, we're getting to the point where it's tied 1-1, and like I know that something is going to happen or someone's going to come through for this team to win.
I'm not
Every
nervous
time,
anymore.
even like the Graham Pauley walk, which I thought was a big part of this game, just getting on to begin that inning. And you're just like, okay, like here we go. Like who's going to be the one to step up? And that's a contagious feeling right now. The Marlins are playing incredible baseball, and it's not just a span now. This is a legit sample size. Since the beginning of June, they have played a brand of baseball that I don't care. And I asked Otto Lopez this to open our interview. Do you feel like there's some magic going on right now? And maybe magic might feel like there's some things that aren't like realistic to happen again. That's probably not what I wanted to go with. I want to go more with like, there is a belief here that doesn't matter the score, doesn't matter the time. We're going to come through and we're going to win a game.
But I like his answer. Like there's been magic.
There's been magic.
There's been magic for a while. So magic at some point turns into belief when magical things keep on happening, because then I'm not saying the impossible becomes possible, but I'm saying the unlikely becomes closer to likely than it was a month ago. And that is the case with the 2025 Miami Marlins. And this team is fun as heck, man.
I was like, where are you going with that?
No,
Be careful, Jack.
This team is so darn fun. It's
They are
unbelievable.
And Jansen tomorrow, who's coming off 3 straight quality starts, career high 7 innings in Baltimore. You got to feel good about your chances, but going opposite an all-star.
Chris Bubic, left-hander. Junk, so far this year, a 2.68 ERA. He's 4-1. Bubic, though, in over 100 innings, 113 punch-outs, and a 2.48 ERA. First year as a full-time starting pitcher in the major league. So Junk and Bubic, 140. Steven hits the air with Marlins on deck at 1 o'clock. Thank you, Ahmed Jordan. Back in the saddle after the All-Star break. For Steven Strom, for Jeff Nelson, I'm Jack McMullen saying so long from Lone Depot Park. Marlins get a win. They go for a sweep tomorrow, 3-1, your final score on Saturday. This has been a presentation of Miami Marlins baseball on the Marlins Radio Network.
Number 1 on your car radio preset